Hey, what is going on, you noise canceling need arena? I got an extremely spicy deck for you guys here today. It's a Mewtwo deck, and there's been a lot of them that I've been playing recently. There's a lot of Mewtwo decks out there right now, but this one is quite a bit different from the rest. It doesn't play Welder, it doesn't play Pikarom or Boltund. It's just Mewtwo, and there's no other form of energy acceleration in the deck, which is usually something that is paired with Mewtwo to get it to those bigger attacks to do more in the games that you're playing. But this one is just Mewtwo with Psychic Energy mostly. There's 4 Aurora, 4 Horror Energy, 1 Basic Psychic, so 9 energy total. And then the attackers, got a whole bunch of different attackers here. Got a Vileplume, a Gengar Mimikyu, the Trevnor, which is one of the main attackers in the deck, Incineroar for that Darkest Tornado GX attack. We got, well, there's an Eldegoss. I was going to click on the Vileplume, but I misclicked. Vileplume with the Massive Bloom attack. We got the Outrage from the Reshizard, and I've used Flare Strike once, but that's not the reason Reshizard's here. It's here for Outrage, and that's about it. And then there's the Giratina and Garchomp with the Calamitous Slash, and one of the main reasons we play Aurora Energy, I guess alongside the Vileplume and the Reshizard, but this may be the main, it doesn't matter. So anyways, the main point of the deck is to set up your Mewtwo through Jirachi GX. I guess there is some energy acceleration in the deck. So we want to go second. We want to Star Search turn 1 or Horror House turn 1. It depends on what we're up against and what the situation is, but one of those two things is what we want to do turn 1. Either Star Search or use the House GX from the Gengar and Mimikyu, and then kind of go from there. And then from there, it just, the games are super interesting and super in-depth. I don't know, the deck is a ton of fun, and it recently won, this list specifically won the most recent Rat Pack sub tournament that I have over on my Twitch. I run those monthly for my Twitch subs. So if you guys haven't checked out the Twitch yet, go over there, check it out. You're missing out. Twitch.tv/AzulGG. First link in the description. Give it a click, give it a follow. Tons of PTCGO content going on over there daily, except for Tuesdays. I don't stream on Tuesdays, but every other day except Tuesday, I'm streaming. But yeah, Cole won with this deck in the Rat Pack sub tournament, and that's why I'm bringing it to you guys here today, because he won, and the deck is just super cool. The deck is super cool. I've been having a ton of fun with it. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games, and I can show you guys firsthand how this deck works. Before we do that though, check out PokemonCard.io. Link in the description. I upload all of my deck lists over there, and a bunch of other people upload their deck lists over there as well. So if you're looking for some decks, that's the place to go. All right, let's get into some games. All right, here we go. The coin flip, and we want to go second. We want to turn 1 Star Search or Horror House GX. Just depends on the situation. Usually we Star Search though, get some extra energy in play, and we either put it on our active Mewtwo or a fresh Mewtwo on the bench. Sometimes we won't have a fresh Mewtwo to load up, so it'll have to be the active Mewtwo, but we like to have the choice, the option. This hand is not good. Open with the Jirachi here. Now, one of the reasons it can be bad to open Jirachi is if we play up against Rapid Strike, because this takes away weakness for all Psychic weakness. Thankfully it's a Victini deck, but like I said, our hand is not good. So we're going to need something else to give us a chance in this one. We're going to need a good top deck here. There are quite a few decent top decks that we could top deck, so I'm not super worried about it. I think we have a decent shot at getting a decent top deck. The Swell is really nice against any kind of Welder deck, which is what we're up against here, so that's good. It's a tag switch. All right, Swell. I guess we're just going to go ahead and House, and then hope for another top deck next turn. House, GX. I guess the Swell I didn't have to put out there, to be honest. It doesn't really make a difference if I have Swell in play or not. But they can't play any cards from their hand. Here we go. Do we top deck an Energy at least? Eldegoss. Pass? I guess. Yep. Pass. Bought ourselves a turn, I guess, before we start getting hit. And but now we can't stop our opponent from hitting us, and we're just going to have to take it. There's a Mewtwo. Well, that's fine. We have the Jirachi set up. We don't even have a Mewtwo in play ourselves, so it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. They can't really do anything this turn as well to really threaten my Gengar Mimikyu. Like, they can't KO this at all. It's impossible. They don't have an attack that would work. I guess unless they played... Nope, there's just no way for them to not... They would have to play like Zigzagoon, and they'd have to go like Heatran for 200 or Double Blaze for 200 plus Zigzagoon triple net is like the only way they would KO this. And even if they do play the net build, that would still be like a ridiculous turn from them. That'd be like a ridiculous thing to hit. So it's probably just not going to happen. So I'm not really too worried about it, to be honest. I don't think that's going to happen at all. We should be more than fine. There's the Dead-Eye change. Got rid of Cobalt Boss. Nothing really too important on their end. Yeah, and we're still just like holding out for that top deck. gotta be a good one, or we're gonna be in a bad spot. I mean, we're like in a bad spot. It's just gonna get worse and worse if we don't get a good top deck here in the next turn or two. I mean, next turn. If we don't get one in the next turn, well, I guess if they don't attack us this turn, it's possible they whiff the attack this turn. They're actually going for the Mewtwo setup over the Victini. So I don't even know what they're going to do this turn. I thought they would just maybe hit us with like an energy burst. They're just spreading flames. I guess they do have one energy in the discard pile, and they're setting up their Mewtwo. We should be honest. Okay, there we go. Doesn't seem that great. Dead A change on the way. Give me a decent draw, please. We should be out of the woods now. Nope. Still in... What is this? Still in the woods, I guess. Boss this guy up, I guess. Try and stall him. And then we don't even have an energy. We can't even attack. What? What? Might move this out of the active here. And like run to the... I might run to the Jirachi, to be honest. If they want to KO that, then I have a chance to like, KO their Mewtwo. If they really want to KO my Jirachi. Yeah, just retreat pass, I guess. Sheesh. That was I was like, all right, we got Dead A change. There's so many cards we could draw here, and I could, like, at the very least, hopefully get an energy and just settle for a Poltergeist for the turn. I'd be fine with that overall, to be honest. All right, let's do that. And then we drew this, and it's not good at all. I don't think we're out of this game yet, especially the way our opponent's kind of setting up and playing this one. Like if they are going in with Mewtwo, which is what they're setting up, I feel like we're gonna be in a fine spot, but it looks like they might just be spreading flames again. So very slow game so far. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and Hearth away this. A Hood I don't think is gonna do anything, so I think we just once again pass. Still living off the top deck. I would have loved to have gotten a Poltergeist there, just try and get some damage in play. Would have been great. Would have loved it. Would have been down. Not what happened. And once again, we're kind of in a stalemate spot. I mean, my opponent's really not doing anything, so I guess it's like kind of fine that we're not doing anything. We'd love to at least be getting energy in play for sure. If we could be getting energy in play this whole time, that'd be one thing. Not getting any energy in play right now is not super good. I definitely don't think they're playing the scoop up net build anymore. I can say that for sure. And here we go. Oh, spreading flames again. I was like, all right, here they're going to swing. Nope. So the one thing we have to kind of be scared of is the... another dead top deck. All right. Okay. Heatran and GX. They've got a lot of fire in play, which means they can hit very hard with Heatran GX. If they play it, which they probably do, it's kind of a staple in these Victini decks. It's been a staple for a while, so I would assume my opponent is also playing it. Of course, they could not be, but just gonna go ahead and make a guess here. Make an assumption that they are. That's something that we can't really play around, unfortunately. Like if they just have a lot of energy in play and they move it all to the Heatran is gonna hit us really hard, and there's really nothing we can do about it. There's a Fion, so I guess they really want to knock on my Dedenne instead, which makes sense, to be honest. If they KO the Jirachi, their Mewtwo becomes weak to Psychic, and so on. I'm never giving them my Gengar Mimikyu here. And we actually want our opponent to kind of knock out a 2-prizer in this matchup, because we don't want them to just like chase, just knock out 2-3 prizers. It makes it kind of like worse for us overall. So if we can avoid that, that's kind of optimal. There's a hit for 100. We can switch into... Well, now we could actually attack with the Gengar and Mimikyu, but it doesn't seem that good, to be honest. So I think I might just like bench Mewtwo. Oh man, what do I even do? Like, what do I even do? Star Search to Mewtwo, maybe? I don't hate it. And they're like not doing anything, so like, let's do something. Star Search to my own Mewtwo, the horror energy there, and then we'll just see what my opponent does, and then we'll respond from there. They might just hit me for 100. I mean, they could attack me with this Mewtwo. They could do the Heatran play. If they do go for the Heatran play, then we can hopefully get a knockout with a Poltergeist. That would be like the idea there. Oh, they could double blaze my Mewtwo, and that's definitely what they're going to do here. Attach to the Mewtwo, retreat, double blaze knockout. And then we kind of just have to go for Poltergeist and hope it takes a knockout here. It probably won't. I'm sure my opponent has set up their hand so that it's not too many trainer cards. You know, maybe there's 3 trainer cards in there and they draw 3 more off the prize cards. Actually, we only, because of the horror energy, actually, we only need 5 total in the hand. We don't even need 6. So we just need an energy top deck here. And who knows, maybe we can make some kind of a crazy comeback with on the back of the Gengar and Mimikyu. Energy, please. No, it's another Hood. All right, I'm going to retreat once again. Do the Jirachi. And I'm going to pass again. Man, these top decks have been atrocious. We have so many good top decks, too. 4 Sheriff's Ball, 4 Quick Ball. I think we priced a Research and a Marnie. So, oh no, the fan. It gets worse and worse. And then the boss. And I'm sure we're just going to get Flare Striked here for 230. And then all they have to do is, like, basically tap this thing. And then it'll get knocked out by basically anything. And then we lose the game. I can run away again, and they are down 3 boss. I'm sure they play Eldegoss, so they have an Eldegoss and probably a 4th boss left, so they do still have a couple outs to boss, but maybe they won't find them. So we're gonna run this Gengar Mimikyu away back to the bench once again. There's a Mewtwo top deck, which I will bench, I guess, and then go ahead and pass back over to my opponent once again. Go ahead. They've used their Flare Strike, so they can't Flare Strike again. Here comes the boss, but they need an energy because they can't Flare Strike. Oh, but they have Flamethrower. All right. We lost this first game. It was very close to us having an out so many times, though. I like if that energy, if we had been able to Poltergeist that turn where we only needed 5, I think we could have just made the comeback there. So close to being able to make a comeback off like any top deck there. It just never happened. So we'll take an L here in this first one, but plenty more games to play, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, here we go again. Going second. First game was really rough. I felt like there was a ton of turns where we could have had a comeback happen. This hand is quite a bit better. Tons more options in a hand like this. The Denosaur, of course, is not great, but sometimes you just open the rat and you got to deal with it. Shuppet start from my opponent. Let's see what else they got here. Here comes a Calm, so definitely something else. I think this is going to be Victini. Yeah, Victini, Banette. Victini, Banette. Now, unfortunately for my opponent, I'm playing Mewtwo, which is not very susceptible to Victini Banette, but it's a very cool deck. The Victini Banette deck is actually super, super cool because you can hit a VMAX with the Victini for 220, and then you use Fion, the VMAX goes to the bench, and then you Banette them, and then they de-evolve, and then you draw 2 prize cards, and you kind of like destroy, like you get rid of their set-up Pokemon. You draw 1 less prize card than you would if you had just hit it again, but you also take it out of play. So it's cool. It's a very cool deck. Cherish Ball here. Go ahead and grab myself Jirachi. I'm gonna tag. Well, I might want to bench the Jirachi. They could. I was like, they probably don't play Mewtwo, but they might play Mewtwo actually. The more I think about it, so we probably should bench our Jirachi here. Tag call here. I was just gonna grab Guzmahala. Although we don't really need Guzmahala, do we? We'll just grab double Mewtwo and then save the Cherish Ball for the second to Dene on the following turn. So double Mewtwo sounds fine here to me. Okay, I'm down. Double Mewtwo, bench, switch, core energy, bench another Mewtwo, sure why not, and then Jirachi of course to protect ourselves, and then just Star Search. And I gotta debate where do I want to put this energy. Is the main thing. I can put it on my active, but if this is getting pressure for a 2-hit KO, I don't want it there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the bench here, and then we have some options depending on what we top deck and depending on what our opponent does for our next turn. But yeah, we should probably bench this just in case they play the Mewtwo, which there's definitely a solid chance that they do. It's possible that they also don't, but it's also possible that they do. So let's prepare ourselves for the do and not the not, you know what I'm saying? So pretend that they do. We'll see if they do, and if they do, we're gonna be happy that we did. But yeah, really will all come down to if they do or if they don't, but better that we prepare for them doing it than not. And we don't really mind having an extra 2 prize Pokemon on our bench. It's hard for our opponent to kind of chase like back-to-back 2 prizers. It's almost more efficient for them to just go through the Mewtwo's, but that is where it opens up for us to be able to pull off like a miraculous duo play, which is super cool. So that does get opened up for us if they do go that route of play, trying to go through double Mewtwo's. We'll see. There was a Marnie off the Poke Gear, but they've already played Welder, so they're not Marnieing us this turn, but they could Marnie us next turn. Unfortunately for us, we don't actually have an available attack right now, but I could go get like Vileplume or something like that, and especially depending on our top deck, I might just go get Vileplume or something like that to just use that for our turn and not worry about anything else. And they do have 3 energy on the Victini right now, so I assume they're going to hit us with Energy Burst here, and that does look like what they're going for. If I put double Horror Energy on my active, we could actually knock this out. And that was a really good top deck there, actually. We can actually knock this out with... Oh, no! Vileplume is prized. If we had Vileplume here, we could knock it out with the other Mewtwo. So now we could Outrage for 150, 160, 170. We're not quite able to Outrage KO this thing. Poltergeist probably isn't going to stick either. We would need 4 trainer cards on my opponent's hand for Poltergeist to do anything. So this is where it gets kind of awkward. We don't have like a great Burn here. We could get our tag switch and then tag switch the energy back and then go from there. Biobloom here would have been insanely good. It's unfortunately insanely prized, which makes things insanely awkward for us. They have a great attack to use here. Maybe Star Search. All right, this is the hardest thing for us to find, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this. I don't expect to do too much else this turn, to be honest. Maybe I just Star Search right now to this Mewtwo. And then save this energy. Probably getting more options is better. We could get the tag switch play as well. There's the switch, no tag switch. Swell is also just kind of good to have in play, so I don't really mind grabbing that. And I think it is just, I could switch, but I don't have a good attack to use. I could tag call for Poltergeist and then Poltergeist this, but that doesn't seem that great. Although that's not that bad either, to be honest. We would also have to bench it, though, would be one of the big problems. I don't want that on my bench. But getting damage on this is pretty good, but I don't know if it's that good, to be honest. I'm just going to go ahead and Star Search once again. Grab the basic Psychic probably and throw it here. I could have grabbed the Aurora, but I want to save that for potentially this Mewtwo to use other attacks like Outrage and stuff, so I don't want to put that in play yet. I want to hold off on that. Switch to the Banette. They could get to the Heatran this turn. They've got some options. The Marnie might be coming down, which would be fine for us. It is another Welder, though, so they're really loading up the energy here on this Victini. Once we take that Victini out, though, that's it. They're not going to have much energy. Oh, they're actually going with the Heatran instead, so they'll save some energy on the Victini. They can use the GX attack here to take the knockout, but that's their GX attack gone, which is really good for us. And I think this is all just going to line up to us being in a pretty good spot, to be honest. Here comes the Hot Burn, and they only take 20 actually. I was gonna say now we can follow up with Night Watch knockout, but we can't. We can't Night Watch knockout. Their Hot Burn is gone, which is good. Oh, we have this now though. We can just Tina Chomp it. Tina Chomp seems good. So I can go Tag Call. All right. Yeah, we can just Tina Chomp it. Grab this and Malon Lana, I think. Actually, the Outrage isn't that great of an option, to be honest. We grab this and Mewtwo, actually. Malon Lana is not a terrible option to have, though. I guess the Malon Lana is probably the best option to have. No, I think another Mewtwo would have been the best. I would have liked to attach to another Mewtwo here, actually, instead. I don't want to attach to my active Mewtwo here, because then I'm not trying to attach to the active Mewtwo this turn, because then we run into a situation where this thing can hit us really, really hard. I do plan to probably Miraculous Duo next turn, but not 100% sold on that being our play. So, all right, Calamity Slash, knockout. Yeah, I'm not going to attach here again because then they get to hit us harder. And actually, they could maybe even knock us out. Wait, let me do the math about 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess couldn't quite knock us out even if well, 9 plus Tool Scrapper or Tool Jammer would knock me out. So yeah, attaching here would definitely be incorrect because they could go Tool Scrapper, Tool Jammer, something like that. Now I can potentially go if they just hit me like not too hard, I could potentially Mallow and Lana and then attack. It really depends on how hard they hit me. But if they hit me pretty hard, then I can just go Miraculous Duo knockout. Really depends on how hard they hit me here. I guess a fan would be really annoying because then I can't Duo, but then we'd have the Mallow and Lana to fall back on, and they'd hit us less hard if they do fan one of our energies back into the deck. So I think that would work out where Mallow and Lana would work out just fine if it goes that route. But we'll have to wait and see what they actually have here. We know they still have that Marnie in the hand, and our hand is pretty big, so I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent hits me with the Marnie here. Yep, here comes the Marnie. Goodbye, hand. Hello, new hand, which is hopefully decent. I'm hoping it's not terrible. That's fine, yeah. Then out the Mewtwo. Could even bench the Mewtwo because it's very possible that we'd want the option of a new Mewtwo. The thing that's going to be hard to find here is actually an energy. I think we had 2 left total, so we prized 2 in our last 4 prize cards, I believe. We have 2 in the deck. They're both on the bottom of the deck, but we'll shuffle the deck with the quick balls before we research. Yeah, we'll shuffle the deck with the what's called before we research, so we'll be able to find it. And yeah, here comes Victini, gonna hit us. We need to Miraculous Duo here. It's very important to heal our Mewtwo here so we don't just lose the game. There's a Hood, so let's go quick ball the could bench another Mewtwo, I guess. So yeah, quick ball the Hood, grab, I don't know, this is a good option, and then we'll probably grab the Gengar and Mimikyu as well. And I could grab the Dene or Crobat. We have plenty of other search in the deck for those, and I don't actually want to put either in play if I don't have to, the Crobat or the Dene, so I think we'll go without them first. Hey, there's that energy I was talking about. Throw this here. I'll throw a Hood here, and then go ahead and Miraculous Duo. And usually when you Miraculous Duo with this deck, it feels like you kind of just win the game. Like the game basically ended this turn. It almost feels like how do they win? I feel like they can't. Like if they hit us We get Outrage. We have so many options for attacks. I mean, our GX attack is gone, but if they hit us, we have Calamitous Slash, we have Outrage. I mean, we have Night Watch, and there's this Crobat and this Dedenne on the bench. Calamitous Slash KOs Dedenne, so if they just don't even hit our Mewtwo, we can just KO Dedenne. We have Poltergeist if they end up with a really big hand somehow. Like, yeah, I always feel like at this point with this deck, we just kind of win the game. It's just over. Like, they can't win. Our opponent just can't win anymore. I think they used their Hot Burn a little bit too early. I think they had to save this for a turn where it would actually one-hit KO a Mewtwo. Here they go with a Boss on the Mewtwo. I guess maybe it was a mistake to bench this. They could go Boss this and then Stamp us. They could play Reset Stamp. Stamp us to 2. I mean, this hit in general is actually kind of annoying. That could be enough. That could be enough. Now I'm kind of scared. Here comes that Victory. We can't knock this thing out. There's a Mallow and Lana, though, so I think I can just play it slow here. You can go, like, attach this, get rid of this. Mallow and Lana. Get rid of these two. Switch into the Mewtwo again. And then we'll probably just use Night Watch here. I think that's the most effective attack for sure. 250. And then also shuffle some cards from their hand into their deck. Fire and a Pokegear. It doesn't really matter what we shuffle there. I think they would... it doesn't really matter. Like, I think we just have them. They're just lose. Like, I don't think they can do anything to win this game anymore. I think we've just won. But yeah, maybe benching this Mewtwo was a mistake. I was like, if I get into a weird spot where I have, like, switch, tag switch, and that's it, and they hit my Mewtwo and I can't heal it anymore because we've already used our healing, then I would want that option. But they're doing the same thing again, trying to trap the Mewtwo. It really is their only out at this point, but we've got a switch. We've got an energy even, so we can just Outrage next turn for the game as well. It hits for 100, 130. Okay, Outrage wouldn't quite work. I'm glad I sat there and counted it for a second, because who knows, maybe I would have just gone to attach Outrage. Yeah, glad I sat there and counted it, because Outrage doesn't get the KO here, so Outrage doesn't work. We do have Switch, Calamitous Slash, which does more than enough damage, though. Here comes another max victory, but in the end, no victory for my opponent. Switch and Calamitous, wherever it might be, Calamitous Slash. Yeah, and there's the concede, and this was a dub. Let's go ahead and get one more. All right, here we go again. Once again, gonna go second because we don't want to... We want to go second. We want to go second. This is a great hand. Okay, we've finally drawn an actually ridiculously good hand. All the other hands besides this one have been like, oh, all right, it's okay. But this is actually a good hand. We've actually drawn into a really, really good hand here. Last hand was solid, and the one before that obviously was a little shaky. But we had plenty of potential for a comeback in that first game. Just never drew a good card. A lot of bad cards off our top decks there. But this hand, insane. So many options on this first turn. And we'll see what our opponent's playing. Zacian in the active. Is it ADP? Is it not? We're gonna find out. If they Intrepid Sword at turn 1 here, we might just go for the house and then just try and win on the following turn. We'll see exactly what they're playing here in just a second. Yeah, we'll just go for the house, I think, here, turn 1. We'll see, though. We'll see. They're taking their time. Taking their time. Intrepid Sword. Do they have anything else? Okay, there's a Quick Ball. Gets rid of a Metal Energy and gets themselves an ADP. So it's definitely ADP. Now we have to decide. We probably won't house anymore, although we could. Oh, they're thinning out their hand quite a bit. That's a lot of trainer cards down. Probably not going to house them anymore. Just going to go for a Star Search on the first turn here instead. Play it a little bit slower. Take our time. We're in no rush. Just go for a Star Search. See what we get. There was the Crobat now, though. We'll see how this Intrepid Sword goes. If they don't hit any energy, it's likely the rest of their hand is trainer cards. So I kind of want to be aggressive here with the house. I'm not going to lie. It's just kind of fun to do. So I think I'm going to house him here. We'll get the Guzma to guarantee the energy on the next turn. I could even go... We could even go... Cherish Ball. Let's grab the Vileplume. And then Cherish Ball one more time. And use the Guzman Hollow right now, actually. So that way I could possibly use the boss's orders next turn. Those two. Well, Big Charm and just go with the Core Energy. You never know what's going to come in clutch. That down. They can't play any cards in their hand, so I don't have to put this down or this down yet, actually, to be honest. And we're just going to go with the house. We're going to house, and then we could boss, go for the KO on the ADP. We'll definitely do that at the Intrepid Sword. They have 6-9 cards in hand. They didn't take any energy off the Intrepid Sword, so we know they hit no metal energy. They could have hit water energy, but there's the Intrepid Sword. So I think we're just going to go KO the ADP, and this one might be history in just a couple turns here. Get rid of this. Boss up the ADP. Big Charm. And throw out a Swell, why not? And Poltergeist, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 8. It was actually, I got a little bit nervous here with the stretch of Eldegoss Station Metal, but clean knockout on the ADP. Get ourselves 3 prize cards. We also could have just gone for the knockout on the Zation, but they want to GX attack. So what becomes awkward for them here is if they go GX attack with ADP on this next turn, they put another 3 prize Pokemon in play that we can start hitting before they get to hit us. So it puts ourselves in a ridiculously good spot. We already have the Vileplume in here. So if they GX attack this turn, we can just go, okay, Massive Bloom. Or if we're feeling it, which now that they've tasted the wrath of Poltergeist, I don't think they're going to put down or hold too many trainer cards in their hand at all. I think they'll play quite a few of those down to avoid that. So I don't think Poltergeist is going to be our play here. I think we're just going to go with that. Or even better, a Night Watch would be insanely good here. But we'll wait and see what we draw first. Yeah, we'll wait and see what we draw first, what our top deck is, because we don't have the Trevnor in the discard pile quite yet. And there's also a Big Charm, I guess, that makes it a little bit harder to get to the 2AK on the ADP. There goes a ton of trainer cards. Oh, no, they played Crushing Hammer. Oh, man. We hadn't seen one up to this point, so I was like, there's probably no way they played Crushing Hammer. But it turns out they played Crushing Hammer. So now this got a lot harder for us, actually, or quite a bit harder for us. We'll see what we top deck. But yeah, that does make things more difficult. Of course, they're down 3 E-Switch, only 1 Saucer though. Yeah, they can definitely set up an attack with a Zation next turn over this ADP. Here comes a Mawile. They can get my Mewtwo if they want. I was probably going to bench it anyways, so it's not that big of a deal for me. 2 card hand left. One of them is probably a Research or a Marnie. But yeah, we're going to go for ideally a Vileplume attack, but we do need to find an Aurora to attack with Vileplume here. Research top deck is pretty clean. Let's go ahead and grab Trevnor and probably Tina Chomp. Or maybe the Outrage is a little bit better to have access to be honest, if they play Crushing Hammer, which we know they play now, so. I guess if we have to, using Star Search for the turn wouldn't be terrible, so I'm actually going to grab the Jirachi here now that I'm thinking about it. So I should have grabbed Reshizard plus. Oh, yeah, because if we have to Star Search this turn, that would not be terrible, to be honest. And we could Poltergeist, but it theoretically isn't going to do anything because of what my opponent just did. Yeah, theoretically not going to do anything, so I think I'm just going to Star Search here. Star Search out an Aurora, because that's what we need to attack with Tina Chomp next turn. If they attack into this Mewtwo, we can hit them pretty hard back, so it'd be fine if they attacked into this Mewtwo. But we'll see what they do. They also, once again, they play Crushing Hammer, so that's something we have to like worry about and deal with, unfortunately. But yeah, just going with the Star Search, I think is probably correct here. Yeah, there's the Ultimate Ray. They're going to take 40 damage back, and then we can go ahead and hit them with, we have a couple options. A Tina Chomp is probably the best. Then we just need to clean this thing up later on. Get rid of this. Grab Tina. And I could, they only have 1 energy on each Zation, actually. I wonder why they split them. Grab this out as well. I could switch Tank Switch. Then I can't Outrage. Is the only thing that would be bad. But I guess I could always hit it with Vileplume. Which, splitting up my energy seems a little bit better here overall anyways. Yeah, splitting up my energy here seems a little bit better overall. Huh. I do want to try and draw as many cards as possible to find the boss, because that's what we're looking for at this point. So I could throw this here. I could throw this. Probably have to throw it here to split up my energy, to be honest. Probably need to split up my energy. I guess I just hold the Crobat. I do want to play the Research, though. That's the thing. But I don't want to lose the Aurora energy as well. I think I have to hold the Aurora. I have to be able to Outrage or stuff like that. So I think we're just going to go with the Massive Bloom now. Don't want to reset their hand. They only have a 2-card hand. So we're just going to chill. It's only got that 90 HP left. So we just need to get it back into the active and knock it out. And my opponent didn't do anything last turn. It's possible they don't have a draw supporter. They are down quite a few in 3 of those Research. There's a Marnie, though. All right, so the Aurora goes back. Yeah, our goal is to just KO this. But with no draw support from the Dene or Crobat, because their bench is full, we could be in a really, really good spot here. Here comes a Metal Saucer. Comes a Metal Saucer. Okay, so they can knock out my active. They have the Rusted Sword. Here comes a Crushing Hammer. Oh, thank goodness. So we should be able to win, I would assume, with Poltergeist here. They're drawing 4 prize cards. They have a 2-card hand. This thing only has 90 HP left. I don't think it's actually possible. I don't think they have enough. Might have enough non-trainer cards left in their deck. I doubt it, though. But we're going to play it a little bit safer than that. So I'm going to send up, we'll send up to Dana here because we have the Air Balloon. Send to Dene, attach the air balloon, quick ball away. The research, gonna go ahead and grab myself that Crobat because we have more outs to the Dene, and Dene always draws more cards. Gonna go Goss, grab the boss. But once again, we're not guaranteed the win with Poltergeist. It's likely they have a 6-card hand and ADP plays a ton of trainer cards. But if I can guarantee it like this with Outrage, that is a little bit safer. So we're gonna go ahead and be safe here. And then Outrage for the dub instead, even though Poltergeist probably would have won the game. And I probably could have counted their energy and their Pokemon that they had in the discard pile and in play, and probably could have figured out that they probably definitely had to have at least 2 trainer cards in the hand. But we can always just Outrage and guarantee the win. So that's a little bit safer, and we get another dub here. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Give the video a like. Peace.